Hey, what's up? This is Lisa from Boston Cannabis Week. Thank you to Chris Tash Pawtcast and Big Dookie Chain for having me. Like, subscribe, follow.
You going? Want me to go?
Well, it is. I don't know which one is taking precedent here, but it is a hybrid, bisexual show going on right now between the Chris Tash Pawtcast and the Big Dookie Chain. Am I wrong about that?
Everything except the bisexual part.
Well, it's both though. So you see where I'm going with this.
I don't.
All right. Anyway, we have a guest of honor in the place to be, Lisa Finelli, Lisa Fallon. Known you for probably 20 years now. 15, 20?
Closer to 15. Yeah,
okay, closer to
sure.
15.
Yeah.
Is that what she's known in the industry for, knowing you?
It's just like the whole world revolves around me and my perspective and who knows me and when they knew me.
Yeah, I was figuring that's what it was. She's also...
But I'll let you guys talk to.
Well, Boston Cannabis Week.
Yes.
That's what we're here to talk about.
Year long, you work on Boston Cannabis Week, right?
Yes.
So it's like the biggest deal in the marijuana Massachusetts period.
Yeah, we work on a 15-month planning cycle. So we start planning for the next year 3 months before it happens.
Okay.
So that's how long it takes to plan Boston Cannabis Week.
That's wild.
That's kind of wild. You want to start from the beginning? Yeah?
Yeah. Well, I was just to get ready for this on the way in here, I was bumping Redman. Because I was remembering when the Hard Rock Cafe used to exist in Fenway and you had the Redman show.
That's right. That's right.
What do you think the top 3 Redman tracks are on Apple Music?
On Apple Music?
Either of you can answer this or Hush.
Like from his whole collection?
Yeah. Just the most listened to Redman tracks.
Just Redman, no Method Man?
That might be one of
Docs
them.
the Name has to be up there.
Well, because How High got to be on there.
Well, Docs the Name is the name of the album, and you're right. There is one off of there. The Rottweiler. Mm-hmm. Is it the Rottweiler or the Rockweiler?
The Rottweiler was off. That was off
of Blackout, right?
Yeah, Blackout.
Oh, and here's a sleeper, Redman. You guys ever heard?
Oh, The Goodness is off of Docs the Name. That's on there. And
Yes.
the Rockwilder off of the Method Man Redman album Blackout.
Yeah,
is on
that
there.
makes sense.
And,
That I
then,
believe.
and then what do you think the third one is? It has to do with a movie. With
How High?
Yeah.
Ready? Deep Cut Van. Have you ever heard the song from Redman, I See Dead People, produced by Eminem?
No, but I've seen the Terminology song, I See Dead People, that has a music video, if that counts. That's an even deeper.
What's like a really cool memory or cool story from that era?
There's a lot.
Well, give us one of them.
Yeah, there's a few moments that stick out. Well, I'm like the first show I did. One of the first shows I did was it was like right around the 10-year anniversary show. So that was a big deal because he had booked the Locks at Middle East downstairs, and it was packed. It was completely sold out. And they were like really supportive, like always like mentioning me and talking to people about me, like Sammy hosting, and it was like a whole little family. I would never forget the one time people started throwing stuff at us from the crowd was the Stitches show. Because Stitches rolled in a half hour before the sound curfew, the noise curfew. He was supposed to go on stage at 9 and he rolled up at 12:30. And they were throwing stuff at us because people were getting so mad that he wasn't there. And he pulls up driving his own tour bus at like 11:30 at night and parks it diagonally behind Middle East and leaves it in the middle of the road.
Didn't Leeds tell the same story?
Dude,
Did he?
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad that he like started all that beef and got knocked out by Whack 100 because I would feel like if he didn't like ruin his career instantly off that punch, like I was a fan of his whole thing going on.
No, I was not. Immediately, I was not. I literally had to go get one of the security guards. I was like, okay, who can drive? Like, who has a CDL here can drive like a big,
full tour bus.
like a full tour bus?
Yeah.
Because I'm like standing
Like a
here.
Greyhound.
He's like, move it. I'm like, move it. What do you mean? Like, literally diagonally behind Middle East. And he went on stage, and Ned was like, no throwing cocaine out, because he was known for like throwing cocaine in the audience. And so that was like a crazy night. I almost got punched in the face one night by Crazy Bone. That was another crazy night.
Really?
Yeah, because it was just there was a lot. Emotions were always high.
Wait, what upset Crazy Bone?
I don't. It was something with after the show. Like I don't.
So Crazy
Ned
Bone had
wasn't
a bone to pick with you. Is it safe to
he
say?
had a bone to pick with everybody. He just didn't like that. I was in his immediate space. We'll say. He was trying to do something. He was aggravated about something, and I was talking to his tour manager, and he wanted us like both out of the way. So he made that known.
Yeah. Okay.
Staying
But
true
he
to
didn't.
the name.
Nothing happened. It was fine. Nothing happened. So there was crazy nights like that. I also met my husband at a lead show.
You guys tell the story again?
Yeah. Oh, you heard it privately.
I was there.
You heard it privately, yes. We were working Bone Thugs and Harmony in Providence at FET, and I was obviously working with Ned, and my husband was running security at FET. Now, my husband, I didn't remember meeting him that night. Years later, he's like, yeah, you were walking around with the owner, whose name was Don King, and you made a comment, because you said, like, oh, there's a pretty brunette looking for you, Don. And I said, oh, you must be talking about me. I didn't remember that he was the guy I said that to. I just was being like a wise ass. And so we ended up like seeing each other again at another show at FET a few weeks later. And Ned was like, no, he works at FET. You have to, no. And I was like, well, now I have to.
It's funny because Leeds reconnected with his ex-wife, and they like started their thing that led to marriage at a Bone Thug show too.
Screw eHarmony. Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Right, yeah. Bone Thugs and Harmony.
connections.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they got to get a sponsorship for that.
There you go.
So you talk about the big family of like the lead shit, and we've all done lead shows here. This guy right here, you have to have obviously a long relationship with him. He said 20 years when he walked in here. How'd you meet him, and what's a crazy him story?
I'm sure it was at Middle East during some chaos.
Was he dressed like a baby or like a fucking
No, but
a Bigfoot?
but
or
you
an
reminded me-
astronaut or
The one time I remember getting screamed at and somebody wanting to like punch me in the one of the times somebody's wanted to punch me in the face.
Was it me?
And it was Azalea Banks's manager, because I went busting into the green room like I owned it, as I had been doing for the last 20 years.
Right.
And I guess it was a dressing room at that point. It wasn't made clear to me. This woman came.
I bet.
Oh, she
I
was
bet.
like Azalea Banks, but the manager version.
Oh,
Right.
I was gonna
She
say,
went insane. Who do you think you are walking into a woman's
the
dressing
most
room?
problematic artist is
Yeah.
and Stitches in one convo.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And I miss Stitches.
Stitches. I
miss that show.
It makes me twitch. Honestly, that whole night.
You
I
get
remember
twitches
just,
from Stitches.
Ned and I are walking back and forth behind the back entrance of Middle East, and like we're hearing boos from inside. I'm like, what do you want to do, bro? And he's like, I don't know. Like,
So you didn't find it funny at all?
not at the time.
He didn't have you in Stitches.
No, he did not. He did not.
Wait, where is
Yeah.
his career right now?
And you know what happened? They ended up crashing the tour bus on Sturrow Drive. Like they ended up. They sturrowed it.
Wow.
I forgot that part about it because he's like, "Oh, we got in an accident first, and then they said his manager got arrested." There was like all this shit. It was crazy.
Because tour buses,
It was crazy.
the top of a bus
Also-
has like electric stuff and shit in it. It's not like
Right.
the top of a truck where it's like
No.
tinfoil. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Also, we did a show
Yeah,
with
usually things that Starro are the U-Haul trucks. They don't have a bunch of equipment.
Yeah. Leeds said, "We're gonna do a show. We're gonna do a Sunday 12 p.m. show. You got to work." I was like, in the middle of the summer, and it was Kaylin and Miles, and he's like, "It's gonna sell out," and I'm like, "Really?"
Kaylin and Miles.
I don't know who that is.
They were like teeny boppers that showed up to this show. It was all ages, and they were all like 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old girls.
At a lead
12
show?
o'clock at Middle East.
At a lead
At a
show.
lead show, all with their parents there.
Did you know about this?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never even heard of them.
Kaylin and Miles. They're actually like I happened to pop on Instagram the other day. I'm like, are they still doing stuff? And they're still touring. But
So Leeds was
yeah.
doing like wiggle shows and shit.
It was
That's crazy. Fucking
That
crazy.
is. That's funny.
yeah, whatever made money. That show sold out. I'm not
Wait,
mad.
Back to the so after you met your husband at Fed, is that's how it ends? How did you guys end up getting married?
Oh yeah, because you didn't even notice him. You were too big for him at that point.
No.
He was just security. What am I talking about?
He was
Everyone
the hot security guard.
Okay.
And Ned saw us. We kept like looking at each other, and we kept talking the whole night.
He wanted to pat
And
you down.
Ned came over. He's like, "Are you updating the Instagram?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm updating the Instagram." Like he was trying to catch me out there a little bit. And then we went to Wes's, the rib spot next door, because everybody went to Wes's after the show was at FET because it was open till like 4 a.m. And Benjamin, my now husband, had texted me while we were sitting there. And he goes, "Is that him texting you already?" And I was like, "Yeah, it is." And he goes, This is work. This is not a good idea." And I was like, "Okay." But I didn't think I was going to marry the dude, that's for sure. And he at the time, he was doing security on the side. He's a big man. He's like 6'5". And so
how tall is Leeds?
6'3", 2, 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, they're
I
both
think.
very tall.
Yeah, they're both very tall. So at the time, my husband was actually doing underwater construction. He was doing security on the side. He does like he builds bridges and tunnels and all these things. So he was like in and out of town when we first started dating. And then I ended up parting ways with Ned work-wise at that point, not too long after that. And actually, my now husband and I, he worked when we did the Freedom Rally. That was like the first time he ran security for any of my events. And then he pretty much, it's been him ever since.
You're like, I could put you to use. It worked for me now.
Yeah, so if-
Honestly,
Like the bodyguard.
Yeah.
we're
You're Whitney Houston. He's Kevin Costner. Yeah.
that's so funny.
Bars.
We're a great
Yeah.
team, like
Just
work-wise.
carries you around the venue.
Yeah, hardly. He's carried people out of the venues.
So you
but,
get to be head of security if you marry you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
That's
guy-
good.
He's the boss.
Has he ever tried to throw him out?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't.
I
She
don't
couldn't
think
even
so.
say for sure though. She's like, I don't know.
No.
Middle East. He
It's
wasn't.
possible. He doesn't know either.
He wasn't
No.
working. He wasn't working at the Middle East though. It was
No,
security, 'cause
he came to the Middle East a few times, but he wasn't working.
Yeah.
No.
So what happened after you left Ned? You started your own stuff.
So I started Experience Creative, and I was working with artists, doing talent booking and creative services for artists. I started managing. I managed Marcella Cruz for a while. I worked with like Jeannie Santiago. I worked with Jasmine Red for a while. A lot of R&B and hip hop artists mostly. And I did that for 5 years, and that's actually was when I booked Redman and when I booked Meth and Red a little bit later on, and Nappy Roots and all these other artists. And then COVID hit, and there was nothing. There was no venues, no artists, no nothing. So I shut the business down in 2020. So in the beginning, when Boston Cannabis Week started, I was doing both for a while, and then when COVID came along, I just kind of shut it down and went all in on Boston Cannabis Week.
Okay, so you never really like planned to be like a booking agent and stuff like that. It kind of just
like,
fell in your lap.
it.
Yeah, you fell in your lap.
Yeah.
And then you end up like you're booking like global acts. You know what I'm saying? So to fall into it and then be booking like Method Man, Redman, shit like that, it's pretty dope.
Thank you. I'll book housewives. I'll book it like honestly.
You book teeny boppers.
Anything that works for like anything that is gonna work, I'll do. Now I have a 15-year-old daughter. What some of the music we totally agree on, and some of it we do not. It's like at all.
What's some of the stuff you don't agree on?
She loves Lil TJ, A Boogie.
I don't even know what that is.
I'm not. Yeah. Like,
Yo, funny story.
Little TJ's R&B, right?
I just did.
No,
when I was
hip-hop.
doing that Sport Expo, there was like these podcasters.
say that
They were
loosely.
hosting it, and there's like the young kid, and he's like listening. He like wanted to hear me rap or whatever, and he's like, his dad's like, oh, his favorite rapper is Eminem, and he's like, no, it's not. It's Lil TJ. I was like, Lil TJ is a drill rapper, but he makes like kind of love song type bops.
Right.
But he's also got shot 7 times and survived. So.
Right.
Oh, I gotta listen to him then.
Right.
He's pretty good. He has a song with Joyner Lucas actually, but Joyner took the video down for some reason. It was like controversial.
Yeah. But then like I'll put Stan on and she'll go hard on the whole thing. Like, she'll put it on like we went to the first concert I took her to was The Weeknd.
Hold on, you're like listening to Stan like just like
In her-
casually. Yeah, like it's crazy.
Casual
She
Stan
actually
Are you a
has it.
psychopath? Like that's crazy.
This is terrible parenting, but my daughter has it on a playlist. So like when she is like playing,
we all
music in
agree
the car,
Stan's
she'll-
an amazing song.
Yeah.
It's an amazing song,
It
but
has
it's just like
meanings.
casually listen. It's like you got to be like
it's
in a
not.
kind of a mood
It's
to listen
not.
to this.
It's gotta be
With
raining.
your mother.
It's gotta
the
be
song
raining
is,
out.
Yeah.
It has
Mom
meaning to
dies
her.
in that song.
I know.
If you remember. Okay.
I know. It has meaning to her. But like, honestly, what was I singing at 15? Like, it's kind of being a hypocrite because I know some of the terrible shit that I was
From
saying.
the window to the wall.
No, I mean that's I can see listening to that. Like as
Not
opposed
even,
to, like,
way
no,
worse.
it's like-
Akinel and like, all that nonsense.
Just put it in your mouth.
Akinelli
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, I can.
I haven't heard that in a
Accidentally
while.
Put It in Your Mouth is the best song. You know those
That's a
jukeboxes
bop, bro.
that you can like program into your phone?
Yeah.
Those jukeboxes have Put It in Your Mouth on
That's
it.
so funny.
So you can program that shit for like fucking hours at a whack.
Right.
We used to drink. Me and Mark would do that shit constantly. We just fucking fill the jukebox
Right.
up.
The
with Put It in
touch
Your Mouth.
tunes you're talking about?
Yeah.
I'm actually like I'm able to be picked in it, but no bar has put my music on yet.
Merck
But
sent,
I'm in the
Merck sent me a
database.
picture of like his like yearly stats on that, and that was like his by far biggest song on like that app is like Put It in Your Mouth. That's a great one. And Monster Mash is
I'm
another
about to
great one.
sample
That's
that.
so funny.
Do you remember the cover of Put It
The
in
best
Your Mouth?
part is like when you put that shit on.
I do actually.
You'll see
The meatball on the fork.
meatball on the fork.
Yeah.
It was a raspberry actually. You'll fucking
Was it?
Yeah. When you see
Makes more
people,
sense.
when you put that song on in a bar, you'll see the whole like they'll not know what it is, and then like little by little people will be like all fucked up with it, and there'll be
Right.
like one chick that like knows every fucking word, and she's doing it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? She's
You know what time
and
she's
the
on.
dude she's with is like, what the fuck? Like every
know.
fucking time.
Well,
He was ahead of his time because now every song is like that's the
Right.
content on it.
well, you know, like
Right.
the in the crack of your ass part and shit, like
Right.
they get into that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
the thing is now, like, if my daughter's putting stuff like that on, I take it as an opportunity to be like, do you know what that is? Do you know what they just said? Do you understand what that means? Explain it to me. Tell me.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Your
well,
birds and the bees talks are different.
If she, no,
we should
Make
do that
it
with
extra
him.
awkward
You should
for
start
her.
playing some lyrics, and you should explain what
if they're gonna
what
say
they are.
it, they have to know what they're saying. And you know what she said actually the other day? She's like, I'm glad you do that because now some of the stuff I didn't realize what I was saying, and I probably shouldn't be saying that. I'm like, yeah, exactly.
That's
The-
great.
I still want to know that yesterday I was trying to think of the song. Oh, it's another time for you. Is that anybody got it from that? No.
No.
Okay.
What the
Go again.
It must have been on Genius or one of these where it broke down the lyrics to one of the biggest R&B songs right now, maybe by SZA or someone. It was like all about holding the gun
Current
for her
song?
man, sneaking it into the club.
Oh no, I haven't.
It was like it's just really
That's-
fucked up lyrics.
That's
So
romantic.
shocking. Yeah,
That's romantic
that is.
stuff.
That's how you prove your love.
So you start with Boston. You start with the Freedom Rally, and you manage to parlay that into a week-long cannabis fest.
Yes.
How does that begin? Like, what's the first step in that process?
So we started. The idea came about in 2016. We knew it was going to take a few years to like figure it out. It was legalization hadn't even happened yet. We didn't know what it was going to look like really. So we literally just started planning. Okay, like, well, what does it look like? What is the goal?
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, what is Boston Cannabis Week?
So it is a week of events focused on the professional cannabis community. We're the first in the Northeast to curate a full week of programming like that. And we focus on education, health and wellness, art, music, networking, sports, cuisine, kind of everything that our industry touches. We try to incorporate into the full week. So we launched officially in 2019 was the first week, and now this is the 6th time doing it in 2024. Because even during COVID, we did a full week of virtual programming. So we were producing stuff from home and, still being busy. So
what did the first one look like?
the first one had 5 events over 7 days. Education, golf tournament, networking event. And then we did, I think it was a block party and then the music festival. So it was the first year we launched that. We started off with Lupe Fiasco, Bia. And then it was like...
Let's get Bia in here too.
Oh, Bia was incredible. We actually had her on our stage the day before Rihanna tweeted about her. And then she was out. It was incredible. Slain, Devil's Twin, Jeannie Santiago, Marcela Cruz... few other people. Terminology, I think, performed on that year too. So that was like, and it was year 1, it was tough.
That was 2019?
That was 2019. We had to raise the money to do everything. It was like, wow. And then, the next year, we were planning for like the next year, and like everyone else, we kept thinking this thing's gonna go away. It's only a few months, and then finally we got to like May, and I said, there's no way. So we said, let's do stuff just, virtually and see how it goes. And we ended up getting a lot of traction from outside of Massachusetts. So it helped to like gain us some visibility, nationally, which was incredible. And then we're like, all right, we got to come back. Like, we got to come back strong. We went back to Ink Block for our festival. They were totally supportive. We started playing with the programming, like see what works and what doesn't. The venues always change, so we can kind of get a better feel for things.
This is what, 2021?
That was 2021.
Is it always the same week? Like, is it annual?
It's the 3rd week in September.
Right.
So the first year, the Freedom Rally was on a Saturday, and we intentionally didn't have programming that day. So we were like, I didn't want to come in stepping on everybody's toes.
Yeah.
And now it works out that they happen the weekend before Boston Cannabis Week officially starts.
I like that.
But this year, we used to be Monday through Sunday. This year, we changed it to go Sunday to Saturday. So we launch with High Tea, which is our women-focused event, brunch event. And then we end with the music festival, which is like the biggest event. So
Usually High Tea is men, though.
in this case, it's women.
Okay. That was for high testosterone.
I was like, I'm missing the joke here.
T levels. You gotta get
So
your
what are
T
you
levels
doing?
checked after 40.
I don't know, man.
You just gotta like
That
just,
bar was not
gotta kind
there.
of slide off sometimes.
The Whitney Houston one was good, but that
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Seriously.
So what do you got performing this year?
So that will be announced very soon. I never talk about it before it's time.
Last year was Common and Rock Marciano.
That was...
Or was that 2 years ago now?
2022. So last year... in 2022, it was the last year we hosted the festival at Underground at Ink Block. We had the block party and the festival the next day. What a lot of people don't know is that we had a really hard time doing that year because the state police tried to shut us down. We ended up having to fight them legally to continue on with the week.
Not like in the parking lot, like in court.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Just making
yeah.
sure. State police are a rough bunch,
Yeah, they saw our feature in the Boston Globe and got upset that I was bringing that Boston Cannabis Week was bringing Common to a public park to perform like that.
Why?
Oh.
It's Boston. Well,
They thought it was just too dangerous.
But as far as
Well, what honestly, if we're gonna like be real about it, what happened was they started letting a lot of people go to events there that didn't have the experience to do those type of events, and they started having issues. So then the state police were getting called to like clean up, the issues that started occurring at that venue. So, but we were the first ones to go in there and do a festival. We had a great relationship with the property owner and the managing company. And they kept having us back, no problem. They're like, you guys are great. Like, we cleaned up. We had cleaning crews there. We left the park in better shape than we got there. We never had any issues, no arrests, no ambulance calls, no fights, nothing. None of that.
But why the issue with Common specifically?
So it was the fact that we were hosting a festival there, and it seems like they weren't notified. They didn't like that they weren't notified that this was happening, and it was such a massive event. Yeah. So, ultimately,
hold on, they weren't notified it was a massive event.
That we were hosting a festival and they didn't know about it is what the problem was.
How the fuck did the police not fucking know about a massive event occurring in this city?
So the property
really
owners,
shitty police work.
The property owners knew, and the managing company knew, and everybody we had what ended up happening that
the police
year.
should know something like that anyway. Just being the police,
right.
like you figured they would know that.
And listen, like in that space, it's very difficult because Boston PD doesn't have jurisdiction over that space. It's the state police because it's under the highway. So it's a very different situation. It's not, Boston PD wasn't just sleeping on it. Like it wasn't that thing. It was like the state police started having issues with other events happening there, not our event.
I get it. Yeah.
So then they were like, what? Because they canceled every other event. Boiler Room was supposed to do something there, and there were a bunch of other promoters that were doing stuff there, and they canceled all their events. And I said to them, like, do you want to know how much money we've already spent? Like, we can't back out now. And literally the vendors were setting up, and I still didn't have the entertainment license. So they sent it after we sent our payment to the city of Boston, and after we we increased our insurance policy, we did a whole bunch of other things. They sent the entertainment license 20 minutes before doors. What? And so, that was the year of Common. Like nobody knows that happened then because I missed half of the events that week because I was just head down like.
Well, people know now. I don't know if you know there's cameras.
Yeah,
here.
I mean it's fun. It's in the past, and that's not even a venue anymore. And it wasn't because of anything we did. It was.
I just wanted to make the joke.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's all.
I don't. It's fine if people know. But
I was just thinking though, because Common's like one of the safest rappers.
I know.
So it's weird that you would be mad about him. He's
they just didn't want us doing it there. Period. But it was fine. It's
like a drill rapper or something.
They allowed us to do it, and I will say they allowed us to do it because they could have came in and started arresting everybody for being there, and they didn't. They let it go ahead. He said, "You're too far in now." I'm like, yeah, literally, stage is up. So last year we were moving to a new venue. I got notified on June 1st that venue was losing their entertainment license. So we tried really quick to find another venue, could not get to another venue for the festival. So the festival was on hiatus last year. So now this year it's coming back and we're moving it to a new location.
Oh, you're not going to tell us the location either?
Yeah.
No, you don't want to tell us where it's going to be?
I can tell you.
Okay, well, I don't
so
know.
the festival it's going to be all public on the website this week anyway. So the festival is moving to Mendon Twin Drive-In in Mendon.
Oh, shit.
Which is exciting because it's our partners are from all over the state, and everything we do is Boston. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything we do is Boston focused. So this year we're going to move over there a little bit and see how that works out.
Are you going to have it in two places or just all of it down there?
No, just the festival.
Just the music part of it?
Yeah, just the festival. Everything else, all the other venues are in Boston.
Okay, so someone like Van who doesn't smoke, what can they expect at Boston Cannabis Week?
So we actually have a lot of people who are totally sober who come to our events and thank us for coming to our events because there's, some of the venues have alcohol, right? Like the pickleball tournament, this and that.
Yeah, I remember that from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Alcoholic Ian was not pleased.
Yeah. Our festival
I didn't bring my nips.
Did not have alcohol ever. So it's a different vibe. There isn't the same, people aren't amped up the way they are when they drink. So that's why we've been successful. So we do have a large contingent of people who come to our events that are totally sober and like they enjoy themselves because they don't feel any of that like craziness.
Can they get like on the educational field? So maybe people that like are trying to get into cannabis but don't really understand cannabis. Like, is there something like that for them? People like them?
So we try to cater to every crowd within the umbrella that we possibly can. So what I would say is go to bostoncannabisweek.com. The full week of programming will be there, and there'll be a description about everything. Some of the programming we do is B2B, some is direct to consumer, and we also do a lot of stuff for the kind of curious, which is that demographic, people who are like maybe curious, not really sure what's going on. So like the dispensary tour, that is perfect for them. So last year we launched a dispensary tour. It went really well. We take people in nice Sprinter vans to like 4 different dispensaries. We launched it as it was going to be like a B2B thing. So people can see like product lines, marketing, understand like what's going on in a part of the state. And what we realized was most of the people that showed up, well, it was like still 50% industry folks, but the 50% of the people who showed up had never been into a dispensary. And they loved the idea that somebody was like literally holding their hand walking into the dispensary. We have somebody that's on the bus with everybody that kind of, as they're going to each dispensary, talks about the dispensaries, what their products are, what they're known for, ingestion methods, merchandise, like that kind of thing. So when they walk in, they're very comfortable. And I have to say, the dispensary partners have been so welcoming. Like one of the bud tenders will come out, we'll say hello, we'll talk to them about new products and what they have going on. And then they have like a really unique shopping experience. So there's something like that. Even, like our pickleball tournament, we had people last year walking in off the street. Happy. So I'm very happy to say this year, Ferrone's going to come back and help run it along with Wallace and Michael Christmas. The 3 of them are going to be managing the pickleball tournament this year. So
Ferrone takes pickleball very seriously.
Yeah. Very seriously.
Very seriously.
Our team expanded this year. We have some new event directors coming on board, and like it's nice because now like I'm getting a little bit more hands off with each event, and our event directors are just running with it and they're turning it into what their vision is, and it's nice to witness.
I was at a freeway show recently and they were selling not just weed but shrooms. Are shrooms
really?
Okay, they're not legal. That answers my question.
Where was it? Well, you can tell me later. Yeah, never mind.
well, shrooms, a lot of the places where like what the fuck are they called? Sessions. They'll
right.
It's all on the board now because there are places in Massachusetts where shrooms are legal, either decriminalized. I think like Somerville, not Cambridge.
Is that
Somerville.
the case in New York also?
No, it's the same. I mean,
I don't think so.
I don't think anyone.
I've seen some.
Oh, there was a lot of shrooms in New York. But like the thing is, I don't think that like the police give a shit about.
I got you.
Like little amounts of shrooms when we're in Queens. Like there's a lot of other shit going on that's not this.
Yeah. The rat mouse problem is out of control.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, there's rats.
Yeah, they have a terrible rat problem in New York.
The New York rat.
In Boston, we don't rat on anybody.
So
besides Whitey Bulls,
they did. Besides the biggest rat in history, but whatever.
Well, 6ix9ine and Whitey Bulls they're rivaling.
Yeah.
So what else can we find in Boston Cannabis Week?
So I'll run you through the week real quick.
Yeah, Sunday starts Sunday.
We have high tea. So that's going to be over at Shoujo. Victoria Dang is going to be running that this year. We're super excited about it.
And that's a woman's event.
It's honors and celebrates women within marginalized groups in our community. So last year, Mika Brown was running it, and it was under the direction of celebrating Black women in cannabis specifically. Victoria now is going to be doing something geared towards honoring the Asian community this year. So every year we're kind of trying to focus on different marginalized communities.
Well, I see on your shirt it says support women in cannabis.
Always.
And I know BCW is a woman's business.
Yes, we're a women-owned business. So this is our merch for this year. Get it at bostoncannabisweek.com.
There you go.
Yeah. So then we have dispensary tours on Monday. Monday evening, we're partnering with Canalive Genetics. They started a new social equity meetup event.
That's Todd.
Yeah, Todd. So
Todd's the man.
Shout out Todd. So we're going to be partnering with them this year. Then Tuesday, we're partnering with the record company. So our education changes a little bit. We used to do just like panels, people hearing groups of people talk. Now we're going to do 3 live podcasts with a studio audience throughout the day. And each podcast is going to be a guest on. And then so you can participate from home. You can come be a part of the studio audience. There's, something for everyone to be involved. Then Wednesday we have networking, virtual speed networking from home during the day, and our in-person networking at night. That is at capacity every single year. So our venue this year was going to hold 500. So I expect that's how many we'll have there. Thursday is Fashion on Fire. We launched that a few years ago, and it's been crazy successful. It's a fashion and glass art gallery. So we work with designers from throughout the region. They showcase their apparel in like this interactive fashion show. We pair it with glass art. We try to make it really fun and engaging. And then pickleball tournament comes back Friday night for Friday Night Lights, and then Saturday the music festival.
Dope.
So, and then we all collapse on Sunday.
Yeah.
What do you think? You gonna go?
I'll be there at least Saturday.
I heard you say you're doing live podcasts. Do you have is that you have the setup and you're bringing them on, or is it like each the different thing?
Yeah, so we're partnering with a record company, and we're going to host it in their location. So they have a full podcast
Studio.
room. Yeah, they have a studio and then an area for the studio audience. So we'll have about 40 people in person, and then we get a lot of people that stream our education that way too. So that'll be fun.
So, do you remember the first time you got high on marijuana?
I remember the first time I smoked. I can't tell you if I got high or not that time.
Set the scene.
Bill Clinton did. You don't know if you inhaled.
Yeah.
Well, I think what we're trying to ask too, or what he's trying to ask is like, where'd you get your first like weed from? Because usually like people.
It was a friend. It was a friend at school, ex-boyfriend, but like boyfriend, girlfriend when you're like kids is like there wasn't much going on,
Who's the coolest person you smoked with? Or someone that was like, you're like, how the fuck did I end up here smoking with this person?
Doc is a pretty good one. Redman, that's just. Since
you know him so informally as Doc and all, Doc.
Doc's the name.
I'm sure there's a few. There might be a few other ones, but I think that's probably the most notable for me. Yeah, probably. I got to actually I had a moment not that long ago where I got the chance to meet the cast of Sons of Anarchy, and there was one particular cast member that I gifted some items to, just because I had to take the opportunity to do it.
Yeah,
it wasn't Jax, was it? Because he was supposed to play Christian in 50 Shades of Grey. That's my one fact that I just wanted to. But it didn't coincide with his Sons of Anarchy schedule.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah,
that's sad. But I'm trying to think.
Thank you for adding that.
Yeah, no problem.
There might be some others, but I think for Redman definitely probably sticks out.
Okay.
What is what do you think is the best weed song of all time? I know this is a trivia part of the
I didn't
interrogation.
study for the Q&A.
I know.
The best weed song of all time? I was like 15 because I Got High came out, and it was like everybody would sing it. Scream
I swear to God, I was like, low key, Afro Man might have it.
Right, because it was the one that everybody knew and sang together. It was like a unity thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
super easy.
I feel like that song was so big. The other song, Code 45, everyone sings along, but I literally feel like the success of that was just because I Got High. It was so
big.
That song was so big, he knocked out some woman on stage. And no one even cared.
They're like, well, he made Because I Got High, so let it slide.
Exactly. You saw that, right?
Yes.
It was brutal.
What?
Some Ray Rice shit.
Did you see his house got raided by police? And
yes. Oh my God. Yes.
That was kind of his comeback song.
Did you see that video?
Yeah.
With the guy was eating the fucking the pumpkin cake or something.
Oh yeah. They were like,
stop looking at that cake on my counter.
You know how I know about it is from the Vlad TV interview.
Yeah.
Wait, Vlad interviewed Afroman?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That was great.
About being like a Crip and all this stuff.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Only Vlad would ask because he's the best interviewer.
I met Afroman at a cannabis festival in Maine. I did, but it was like before he had that thing with that girl. So
He's coming up again. Like Barnstock is the festival in Maine.
he's gotta be
He's
in
coming
New
again.
Hampshire soon.
He comes at least once a year near
Interesting.
Boston. Yeah.
Is that who you have in Afro Man? Is that the secret guest?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's the headline.
That'd be such a shocker.
It's Afro Man and it's
Shocker.
fucking Stitches.
Oh my God,
Wouldn't
never.
Wouldn't that be
Never.
fucked up?
That would be-
If you pull up to Mendon Drive and
Low
you
key.
see a tour bus parked crookedly,
It's Stitches.
We're gonna
that would be
know.
a good show. You know, we're celebrating
Yeah.
cocaine and weed.
Yeah, I've always had this great
Definitely
idea.
not.
I've always had this great idea. Instead of the Hemp Fest, same spot, Coke Fest, and everyone's just knocking each other out
no.
and like, yo, can you imagine?
To answer your question,
Bloody like
wait.
bloody tissues all around.
I remember earlier you said, where's Stitch's career now? I have to say this. So I got to say one thing. He fell off, like no one's checking for him, but his music got better as he got less fans. Like he had a song with Kevin Gates that was actually pretty good.
that's like his Christian comment right there. Another one. The thing I'm thinking of is Mendon Drive-In, right? When you go to the drive-in, you watch the movie, but you go in your car and you turn it on. Is there going to be something similar to that? Like when
No.
you got, because that'd be kind of dope.
I only know Mendon because they do Groupons all the time. Are there going to be Groupons for Boston Cannabis?
No, there will not
Okay.
be Groupons. No, we set up our big stage and all the things that we always do every year.
Yeah.
So we'll have our massive stage and speakers.
But there won't
and
be the
sound.
frequency that you can turn on in your car.
No, those spots are gonna be filled with vendors. So there will be the screens will play that when the headliner's on. The screens will be playing what the headliner stream is.
That's dope.
So that'll be fun. We'll be able to have some light shows. It's a Phantom Gourmet venue, so the food's pretty good.
Are they going to allow smoking and stuff on property?
So just like Ink Block, they are not smoking is not permitted because that is the rule in the state of Massachusetts. But they are friendly to the cannabis community, and my company doesn't kick people out for consuming.
Okay. Fair enough.
What
Had
was
to
it?
ask.
What was that? The Worcester Palladium. Everyone was.
Well, you weren't supposed
Yeah.
to do any of that.
Okay.
It's just what happens at these rap concerts, you know, like
Listen,
one person starts smoking. and
Any
two people
concert you
start-
go to
Yeah.
in the state of Massachusetts, people are smoking.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's just kind of what it is.
Yeah.
Indoors and outdoors.
Indoors and
So-
outdoors.
Is it the same in New York? Because we just did Amazura and Queens, and
Yeah.
that was like,
Well,
what do they call it? Clam baking? Do they still use
Yeah.
that terminology?
no.
We had to
No,
carry
no one-
Justin out in a stretcher.
No one calls it
This
clam
is the
bacon.
secondhand
Hot boxing.
marijuana.
Hot boxing, fish bowling.
Yeah.
Well, no, in Worcester though, what happened was like somebody just brought like 100 people on stage, and everybody lit up giant joints like at the
Right.
same time, and then that just kind of like
And then that was what.
that
yeah.
was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah.
But you won't be
'cause
doing that.
We're
Then you
not
see-
a social consumption event because that's not a thing yet here. Even
Yeah.
though people try to, they advertise their events as a social consumption event, it's not yet a thing. The legislation hasn't been finalized. So,
What is the overall goal of Boston Cannabis Week?
it's been our focus to keep growing and evolving, keep serving the community, and that means we have to stay in tune to what the industry is looking for. So, we've started to kind of like dabble in some other things. The dispensary tour now, we're doing another one in July. We're kind of doing those a few times of the year. We also have Winter Wonderland, which we do in December. So we're trying out other things.
What's that?
Winter Wonderland. So that we launched 2 years ago, and that's like a big party at the end of the year. That's just Winter Wonderland themed. So we usually host it. Last year that was on hiatus as well because I ended up having surgery, so we couldn't move forward with that. But
this year you're back.
yeah, this year we're back. Yeah, in December. And we're just trying to stay fresh, stay innovative, kind of keep an eye on what the market's looking for.
You're the linchpin to this whole operation, though. If surgery means the event doesn't happen this year.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not now, honestly. I may be in the leader of this organization, but our team is so strong and they're so capable and they can very much do all this without me, honestly. Not that I'm looking to go anywhere, but that's why we have these event directors. And Winter Wonderland is a little different. It's a smaller operation, and it's because it's not as big. It's like a smaller party.
Yeah.
But for Boston Cannabis Week itself, if I'm not there, that goes on. So,
Is there anything you want to tell people that either might be on the fence or might be just kind of curious about what would be something you might want to say that to someone that might not know anything about this, to get them into the door?
I mean, the thing is, everybody is welcome at our events. We want people to come and see for themselves what we're about. We want them to feel like they're a part of our community. This industry is very funny, like going from working in the rap industry to working in the cannabis industry. Like, the cannabis industry is way worse than any rapper, than any tough artist, and any manager that I've ever dealt with.
I've been telling them
The
that.
cannabis industry is like, everybody is out here for themselves and so cutthroat, and it's like same crabs in a barrel nonsense and all that. And like, I'm just trying to do something different. I'm a little bit older. Like, I don't care about the same stuff anymore. You know, I just like, I want to do good things for the world because I want to leave a better place for my kid. You know, like,
There's a few people moving in that direction too.
yeah, there's a few of us.
You can see
You know, and I think as long as people keep coming and seeing what we're doing and improving and growing and new ideas and new people coming in, they're going to be into what we're doing. And I support women owned always, you know, support local.
How do people get involved?
So you can hit up info@bostoncannabisweek.com. You can go on socials, send us we try to be pretty good about answering DMs. So you can go up in there and send a message. We're always, right now, we're about to start our partner announcements. So we're always looking for a sponsor. If you want to come sponsor, we have sponsorship to all the events. We're doing a lot of fun stuff this year, actually. Like,
do you have any sponsors of fun stuff you want to tell us real quick?
So, yeah, I'm very excited for Vibations is coming on board to co-present the pickleball tournament Friday Night Lights, and we're going to do some really fun jerseys for all the players. All the teams in the pickleball tournament are different brands in the cannabis industry, so it's kind of turning into some. I didn't know about pickleball. My whole team was like, we got to do this pickleball thing. And then last year we did it. You guys came, and I was shocked how well received it was. So we're excited to bring that back. We have a few other things that we're kind of playing with right now, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good year, and I'm excited about the talent portion too, because now it's like we have a little bit more room. We have a little bit bigger of a capacity. We're going to have about 120 vendors. And then our massive stage that we bring back every year.
Are these events free?
So education and networking are always free. We don't charge. We feel like that should be a service provided to the community. For entertainment, we do charge. We try to keep the tickets as affordable as possible so that it's accessible to everybody. But people will, if you follow us on @Boston Cannabis Week and then head up the website, we have all our programming going up next week, starting Monday. And then tickets will be on sale just a few weeks later.
Okay, so we've asked what is in it for people that aren't like into cannabis as much. What about someone like me that's a super stoner that has been around cannabis forever?
You know what's really fun about Boston Cannabis Week? It's become a tourism destination, and we get a lot of people that come in from out of town who are part of this community.
Okay.
So it's become like a little reunion, you know, like similarly to what like NECAN has become to the industry, where people will fly in to just be a part of events that week. The same thing with Boston Cannabis Week. The last few years, we've sold out some hotels in the area. Like, what we're doing is good for hospitality, so and tourism here. So I think it's like you're gonna come find community and people to have fun with and hang out with and share ideas with. Like, that's what it's all about: sharing ideas and being innovative and coming up with something that's interesting.
Has anybody else like tried to take what you guys are doing and like do it somewhere else, like a New York Cannabis Week or a Florida Cannabis Week, or?
Well,
no one that's going to be mentioned.
Boston Cannabis Week is a registered trademark by the U.S. Patent Attorney's Office, and but yeah, we've had a few people that tried to use Boston Cannabis Week here, and then there's only like one or two other week-long events in the country.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Because cannabis is still so new.
It's still so new. The problem with New York right now is that it's chaos. Their cannabis industry is chaos. Like, they don't really care about the regulated dispensaries, and if that's how you pay,
1 billion people,
right? So it's like things have to get a little bit more settled in New York for like this concept to work. It would have to be a little like we would have to change the way we do things to make that move. And then there are some.
Wait, so what's it like in New York?
Well, because there's like tons of illegal dispensaries and people just selling in bodegas and delis and like. So why would
New York.
right? So why would a
New
dispensary
York. I love New York
sponsor?
so much.
Yeah, but why would a dispensary sponsor an event then? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the whole idea is that we partner with the dispensaries because we drive traffic back to their locations.
And like the two sides of it is like the legacy market, which is like the black market, and then like the legal market.
Right.
So when you have an event like this, like the last time I was there, like I know there was no cannabis, no seeds, no anything like that. Is that still the case?
Right.
And the case on that, which I'm assuming is because of insurance reasons and federal regulations.
Yeah, we follow federal regulations, so you can't sell, you can't give away seeds or.
You know how like in New York there was stuff on the tables like cannabis, there won't be any of that.
Yeah, can't do that.
Because it's a sanctioned event by the state, and so
is when you as a dispensary, like now that it's legalized, do you still have plugs? Is the word plug still used? Yeah. Okay. My plug is the Yamba dispensary for vapes.
I don't think I would use it that way. I'd be like, my plug is the person that I go to when I'm not going to this dispensary, right?
Way wrong. Way wrong. I said yes before I heard the rest of the question.
You can have a plug for clones.
I know better.
Maybe. Or you got an edibles guy.
Okay.
That you might prefer to.
Your plug is someone that isn't on board with paying
But
taxes.
honestly, now you don't know who you're dealing with. So I tell everybody, like, you're better off just going to the dispensary because at least you know there's not some craziness in it. Because some of the things that are selling on the streets now is like unreal.
So dispensaries, is it like law that it can't have like pesticides used with the plants?
Everything
and stuff like
is
that?
regulated.
Okay.
So how much pesticide they could use, and like people have done worse and gotten away with it, but they get fined if they do.
Okay.
So everything is regulated. How much can be sold, exactly what gets sprayed on those plants, like everything.
Okay.
Like I said, does everybody follow it to the T? Probably not. I mean, you can Google it and just see all the lawsuits there's been and fines there's been. That's all public knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Boston Cannabis Week.
Yeah.
It's coming up. It said the third week in September.
September
What days are those?
15th to the 21st this year.
When can people start getting tickets to that?
So starting Monday, the full programming will be up, and some of the ticket links will be live, and there will be live dates for all the events. So everything's kind of on a rolling basis because it's a lot of details.
This won't be out for like 2 more weeks.
Okay.
So if you want to tell everyone in this camera right here where they can actually, because it will be out by then. You can tell them where to go, where to buy, all that stuff, and what will be, where they can find that.
Yeah, go to BostonCannabisWeek.com, click on the ticket links for each of the individual programmings, and that'll take you right to Universe to purchase your tickets.
Where else can they find you guys?
At Boston Cannabis Week on Instagram, at Boston Canna Week on Facebook, LinkedIn, anywhere you are, we are.
Okay. Is there, like I said, one more time, that place where people can reach out if they want to get involved?
Info at BostonCannabisWeek.com or hit up the contact us at BostonCannabisWeek.com.